gave it to me.
I dare you to go inside.
No! Tingle
So you
will
defeated
eat
this
me.
ship-devouring beast all by yourself?
I'm telling you, you just have to aim for the eyes.
Already on it. Found it.
Adair, look what the Watcher's given me. It's pretty as a picture, ain't it?
Ooh, have yourself a look at that,
Sit right
mate.
I've got something over here. Not a problem. I'll have this open in no time. see what's in here.
Not sure I can.
Hey, watch
It's
it.
beyond me.
Hey, sorry you want.
Death to our enemies! Damn the lad's aim!
Are you blind?
It's beyond me. No can do.
To keep the lad. Aye.
It's beyond me.
It's me. These uns are in for a
No
while.
can do.
Hope nobody saw that. Death to
It's
our
beyond
enemies!
me.
Captain.
Are you blind?
Done and done.
I'll have this open in no time.
Keep your weather eye open.
The season of harvest
You're mine!
is here.
Can't make a dent. I need something stronger.
Another attack. Flogging a stick again. Futile.
Work's cut out for us now.
Cocked that up, didn't I?
Come on!
Oh! Things must come to an end. Even me.
This thing isn't doing the job. Fight on, Chunky!
Lad, on his feet.
Hang on, I'm coming.
Hardly more. Boys, watch it. Miss.
Don't count me out yet.
Oh, shut up. Flogging the figurehead.
I meant to do.
Future. Back on your feet. Damn him, blast.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Get another attack, Cap.
Kinda stuck over here.
Oh, I'd be a rare tick from fatal fishes.
The little blue fuzzball's checked out.
You seen the view from up here?
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel? You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth. Grand Secretary Atsura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs. Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right. Her office is at the back of Imperial Command. She is busy organizing other matters, but I am sure she will grant you an audience.
Sorry, but this area is strictly off-limits. Sorry. My orders come from the Hazanui herself. Private property of the Royal DEADFIRE Company, that's what. I still can't let you through.
What can I do you for?
I still can't let you through. I still can't let you through.
What for, Cap?
I still can't let you through.
Consider it.
Beat it. I don't have time to chit-chat. Shouldn't you be at work or something? This is no place for the likes of you. Not a chance, amico. Fasina sent you, didn't she? Postinago, just for these. Soft as down, but not a single fence willing to pay me a fair price. Maybe they've got imp stink all over them. Here he comes, and I'm too late. If Hamuto doesn't give me an extension on my debt, I'm a dead man.
So, Berteno, you hired a mercenary, or else a negotiator. That coin should have gone toward your debt to me.
Huh? No, I didn't. That is, I would never go behind your back. Hamuto, I wondered if you might take them as a payment on my debt, or maybe for an extension?
I possess gloves of my own, and they suffice for my needs. This is a private matter. Your interference is unnecessary. Do I? One can be adherent to the tenets of maritime law, and still be seen as a monster. Indentured servitude. I trust this is a more honest and respectable alternative than any pursuit he would take on his own terms.
Be calling it whatsoever you like, Captain Cogswallow. But your honest and respectable slavery be slavery all the same.
Your toy pirate speaks out of turn. I would teach him a lesson if I were you, Captain. Enough. I have work for you. No. Berteno's assets are mine to dispense with as I please. I'll hear no more of it. These are Arkhamer's possessions? I would no more incur the wrath of an archmage than I would stick my head inside a dragon's maw. There you have it. If our business is concluded at last, then I take my leave.
Consider it done. Not a problem.
Looking for a pistol or an arquebus? Rawatai makes the finest guns in Aora, and I make the finest guns in Rawatai. Craftsmanship. If you ask my superiors at Imperial Command, they'll tell you our main exports are saltpeter and metal. Those are just things. They're prized because of what we do with them. Rawataian industry is about discipline, precision, mastery of a careful art. Those qualities guide all that we build. Looking for a pistol or an arquebus? Looking for a...
For someone who talks so much, you seem to care about very little.
Oh, apologies, lad. Didn't realise we'd be only ever speaking of subjects deep.
The Royal Deadfire Company is a trading company, is it not? And you are on Kahanga soil. You cannot turn me away.
The Brass Citadel and the Royal Deadfire Company operate under the auspices of the Ranga Nui of Rawatai. We answer to him, not to you. And certainly not to some tribal queen of Nekataka. These Valians are always sending their spies to snoop around. And I won't have it.
And these Rawataians think they own anything they stack 2 stones on top of. I am here to conduct business, not engage in petty power struggles.
What? She's up to no good, I know it. Fine. But if you're wrong, we're gonna have a talk later.
Aggressive, my friend.
Oh, don't strain yourself on my account.
I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Back. You
Green
got one thing
islands
right.
and blue skies. Can you believe your eyes? I've never seen such a fair, pristine land. I grew up surrounded by storms and stones.
It's the land. Fertile, green, and abundant.
No, it's something else. I just can't put my finger on what.
There's so much here. So much we could make of this place.
Perhaps that's it.
There's so much we could build in Deadfire.
Why does your Ranga carve his name into a rock?
The Ranga Nui.
For what do you squawk and gloat over a heap of stones? Akira, you Rawataians are strange cousins indeed.
The Brass Citadel is a marvel of modern engineering. With the gates barred and the cannons primed, it can withstand any attack and weather any storm. Surely you can see what a fine stronghold this is. We transformed a rocky cove into the best defended harbor in Nekataka. Such achievements must be celebrated.
This rocky cove was once a prized fishing spot for the Riparu. These Rawataians act as if every bare islet is merely awaiting a fort or a farm. They cannot look at anything without planning to change it.
To strive is to survive. Those who would achieve greatness must make the world a better, more ordered place than they found it.
Why change the world when you can learn to live in it the way it is? This is what my people have done for thousands of years. But for what purpose? And at what cost? Akira, nothing invigorates like a good discussion. Thank you for indulging us. Oh. Then did your Reparo also write their names on other stones?
With sails unfurled and sword held high, to battle for glory and Rautai.
Faithfully done, Emiani.
Come
Report
to
to
gawk,
Wakoyo
too.
Nui when your hands
My
and your
punishment's
temper
over,
heal.
you know. I punched my captain. Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better. Still a scramble root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know. Either personally or by reputation. I'm sure you're capable. But I don't know enough about you. Yet. Let's talk again when you've made a name for yourself.
Cold as winter until suddenly she's not.
Meet her eye when you've got bad news. She respects that.
If this is about the Hazatoa tournament, I've got nothing to do with that, all right? I just serve the drinks. They always pay on time. They're run by the Ranga Nui, so they should, right? Also, I'm from a town near Tekoa. Rautai's full of all kinds of kith, not just Amawa. But the Amawa have a long history at sea. They make up a lot of sailors and soldiers, including most of the ones that ended up here. Some of the soldiers and sailors get to making unwise bets when they play. Like I said, I keep out of it. None of the regulars are looking for new opponents, though, if that's what you're asking. You're a captain working for the Royal Deadfire Company, right? Sure you are. Even if you're not, I've heard your name enough to think you are. Try the Razor Skewers, if you can handle the heat.
I ship out with some soft-handed runt.
Not a problem.
Clear skies, my friend. I know of you already, Captain. The boats of our decorated armada have orders which spread them thinly across the archipelago. Rauatai finds itself in need of a privateer. Your ship, unmoored from Deadfire politics, is an asset I would grasp with both hands. This courage will win you many battles, I think. A Scylla wave skipper is your first target. A pirate shirking any pretense of lawful conduct in the open seas. Most excellent. A Scylla commands the Voyager River Dragon, which pesters a group of islands to the southwest of Port Mage. Ask away, my privateer. I would not— You have your assignment, privateer, but the spirit— An official reckoning is drafted to account for every cannonball shot in the name of Rauatai. For every ship sunk, there are enemies, so let no one say aha.
It's the last time I ship out with some soft-handed runt.
Worry me, Alof. I'd be letting the lass out to play more.
It isn't you, and I didn't ask.
Could make a right nice excuse to be exploring your
forget that part. Say, you're the Watcher of Cadnua, aren't you? I've never met anyone famous before, except the Hazanui. She yells at me sometimes. Oh, all the time. Where's my white leaf? Stop daydreaming. Sabormi, if you lose the letters again, I'll have you clean the latrines. All this time, I didn't realize she knew my name. It's just, this is my first time away from the rough country. I'd heard there were thick, green forests and sandy beaches without a storm in sight, but I never imagined this. You must have traveled lots, seen all sorts of amazing places. I love Rawatai, but it's hard to go a week without seeing storms, or hearing about mudslides burying a village somewhere. I really wish I could, but my supplies are for the Royal Deadfire Company and our allies. Maybe if you impress her or Atsura, they could make an exception.
Not a problem.
The former Lord of Cadnua, and one-time Terrifier of Harbor Masters. If dockside tales are to be believed, you have not brought much good news of late. So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters? Just what the archipelago needs. One more disaster tugging at the seams. He must be stopped. If there were help to be found at the palace, do you think Deadfire would be such a mess? The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin, and the Huana will barely do that much. No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit. Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's Mortar. It's largely free of rough weather. Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest. It's a waste. Imagine what this place could be, with well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rawataians we could feed with plantations here. You've got a good head on your shoulders. Deadfire needs more of that. If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, then we have a common goal. And if you're going to survive here, then you could use an ally. The disaster at Hasongo remains a key concern. We rely on the port there to ship food back to Rawatai. That's on hold until you investigate. Atsura, our Grand Secretary, has a plan that would make use of your unusual talents. His office is downstairs. He can tell you more. Hazatoa. Atsura and I usually have a game running, and this one's been going on for over a month and a half. Atsura's good at misdirection, but I've got a mind for the long game. You look like you've come with a purpose. It happened a year into my first command. We were chasing pirates along Rawatai's south coast, and they landed a shot right next to our magazine. A lucky hit. I ran below. The fire was already spreading and making for our powder stores. I smothered what I could with my uniform, pulled the rest away with my own hands. There's a cost to every victory, and the win goes to those willing to make a sacrifice. I'll bet you already know a thing or two about that, and if you don't, Deadfire will teach you soon enough.
did you see those awful verses by the kitchen?
They weren't that bad.
Rhyming Hazanui with kablooey?
I can't think of anything else that goes with Hazanui.
Me neither. That's why I leave epics to the lore college.
Criticism is easier than creation.
Watcher Nui, the Lord of Cadnua. I'm not one for ostentation, but your remarkable display at Queen's birth suggests that you are an individual with skills, not mere style. I am Atsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. Rawatai has long maintained trade interests in the region. While our homeland is rich in saltpeter, the violent climate and rocky soils make it a poor source for most other basic staples. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests here. That is a Valian frivolity. Leave it to them to observe a substance that occurs nowhere else on Aora, and immediately set about pulverizing it for profit. Nothing. We know too little about luminous Adra to understand the consequences of ripping it out. Perhaps you can help me keep them from doing more harm. The demand for luminous Adra has sent the Valian Trading Company into a frenzy. Their expeditions grow too bold, and their officers too greedy. Worse, their rapid expansion attracts pirates and threatens the outlying Huana tribes. This risks souring the Kahanga royals against all foreign involvement, but you can curtail their growth. By snapping up land we need to grow food and build ships for our people? Indeed. But our interests and Deadfire's are not mutually exclusive. The Valians have sent an expedition to Pococahara, a storm-wrecked island believed to house a vein of luminous. I hear you accomplished an incredible feat in restoring the luminous Adra near Port Maje. If your abilities allow you to do that, then perhaps you are also capable of the opposite. Find the luminous Adra at Pococahara. Render it unusable to the Valians. This should encourage them to develop the resources they have, rather than reaching for more. For all their faults, they don't lack imagination. I'm confident they know of our intentions. Deeply. But if a small sacrifice here will discourage the Valians from further ventures, then it is a worthwhile risk, because governors like Clario are a rare breed. Most of the Valian administrators care little for the well-being of the Huana. If the Valians claim Pococahara, it is the locals who will truly suffer. I do not have the precise location of Pococahara, but the tribe on the nearby island of Tikawara could probably help. I suggest starting there. Now, what else can I do for you? It's a trading post, of course. Anything worth building is worth protecting. It's a trading post, of course. Rawatai is rich in saltpeter, copper, and a few other profitable minerals. We generally trade for food and timber, which grow poorly in the rough country. The Valians have become aggressive competitors in recent years, but our ships were plying the seas long before the Republic's declared independence. We learned the value of defending our goods and ships long ago. Clear skies. How do you mean that? Rawatai is composed of many types, but none of whom are especially diligent about paperwork. How do you mean that? It comes from years of practice. How do you mean that? Are you making advances at me? While I'm not opposed to casual assignations, I'm afraid my duties here leave me little time or energy. If that changes, I promise you'll be the first to know.
this open and note.
That'll do it.
I'll go on ahead. Let's see what's in here. As promised.
Not a problem.
Last time I shut... Soft-handed runt.